want a man to take the lead, but you find yourself needing to be the one that's in control and driving the relationship experience. Good morning, let's talk about shifting this. Usually this happens before you even realized it, right? You swore before you went on the date, I'm gonna let him lead. I'm gonna be in my feminine. Yet when you get to the date, hi, yes, there's two of us. We have a reservation under XYZ. We'd like to sit at this table. Seats to walk. This is you on the date, right? Pillow is the conversation. This is you carrying it on your back. Then your protective wounds come out and you think, I need to know all the information about this man right now. You don't even realize you're going in interviewer mode. Where'd you go to school? What'd you study? Did you graduate with honors? Oh, that's amazing. What do you do for fun? Do you see yourself having kids in the next 5 years? Have you been to therapy? What's your deepest trauma? How have you worked through your deepest trauma? Listen, I'm not saying those are bad questions, valid questions, questions we should consider at some point, but date one, if it unfolds organically and you guys are both contributing to that, amazing, amazing. But in this scenario, if this is like rinse and repeat, how you're always showing up is interviewing him, even though you really want him to ask you questions and be curious about you, you can shift this just by the energy that you hold. What I need you to know is this. It is one thing to know how you want to show up, right? You picture yourself being in your feminine and leaning back. It's another thing to be able to embody it and act on it. You probably know that because you probably consume a lot of information on feminine energy and dating and relationships. And this is an exact problem you're having. I know what to do. Why can't I do it in the moment? In order to shift this experience of you feeling like you have to be the one or you automatically are the one to jump in and take the lead even though you want to be in the feminine, we have to look at the emotional wound that is driving that. Why do you automatically jump in, right? There are so many reasons that this manifests in women's behavior. From working with dozens and dozens of clients, I'm going to tell you some of the most common ones. One of the biggest ones is this fear that he won't step up. If I leave the space, he's not actually going to step up. Right alongside that, very similar, is not trusting his masculine energy. Some part of you that thinks, well, I have to do this, or because I can, then I should. Maybe it's you trying to prove your worthiness. Oh, I'm going to show him that I am the best conversationalist, and I'll get everything down and I'll plan everything, and then I'm more valuable to him, and then he's going to think it's easy to be with me, so he won't leave. Fear of abandonment. Most of the time, this has to do with wanting to feel safe and seeking control as a way to feel safe or a way to escape vulnerability, right? When we take the lead, we don't have to sit in those gaps and feel vulnerable and let there be silence. Let there be space for him to ask you questions. And the same thing with that need to prove, needing to prove you're worthy or good enough or worth pursuing usually comes from self-worth wounds that we have to work on. Why do you feel like you need to overfunction to communicate that you are a woman worth pursuing? A lot of times it's because we've grown up with, especially if you're in kind of my age range, our parents, the women in our homes were one of the first generations to work jobs outside the home and also, unfortunately, have the expectation that's projected upon women to still be taking care of the kids, taking care of the household, cooking all the meals, cleaning, without having a lot of support. That's a new conversation, as you know. So you watched mom overfunction, have a thriving career, and then come home and need to be wife of the year and mother of the year. That's the representation you saw. You didn't see women leaning back in their feminine energy and dad jumping in to support her, encourage her, take care of her, right? Be an equal partner in the household and let her be in her playful, warm, leaned back feminine energy. This is a big shift in our generation. The good news is it is simpler than you think, and you create your experience in dating. So as you shift your energy and shift how you show up, what happens is you start shifting paradigms and attracting in people who are in that paradigm with you, who are healthy, secure, empowered masculine partners who want to pursue empowered feminine women, who cherish empowered feminine women, who just want to make you happy and take care of you too. And when you learn how to be a receptive component to that, it all becomes a lot easier. So we've got to look at those emotional wounds driving the behavior, because when you heal those, right, that fear of abandonment, that need for control, that need for safety, not trusting the masculine, having a wound with your relationship to the masculine, those things are going to show up as I'm going to overfunction. Overfunction meaning take on the masculine role when you want to be in the feminine, right? Better said. And then that's not the only thing. We also want to know new menu items for how you can embody and embrace your empowered feminine energy. It's one thing to say, okay, don't do these behaviors, but if you don't look at the wound that's driving it, then it's going to be really hard to do that naturally. It's going to feel like I know what to do, but I can't get myself to do it. And we want to look at these new menu items for how does an empowered feminine partner show up. One of my past clients, let's call her client T. She's a successful entrepreneur, and so she has really good, healthy masculine energy, but didn't know how to embrace her feminine energy. And she also really wanted an empowered masculine partner to take care of her in the relationship too, because she was doing so much in her career. And she had grown up with parents who were people pleaser, kind of codependent, and narcissistic dynamic. So not only did she have this wound with the masculine because of her relationship with her dad, but she also learned how to overfunction and be super pleasing because of what she saw in her mom. And what we had to do was go in and heal those wounds from childhood, and then also start learning how to show up in an empowered feminine way and create some safety in her body around that. And she learned how to embody her empowered feminine energy and feel worthy of being taken care of and feel safe enough to lean back and let go and trust the masculine. Masculine wound was a big one for her. And then it became natural to lean back and trust the masculine more. And wouldn't you know, when she started dating again, she completely shifted paradigms and she met a secure, healthy, empowered masculine man. They've now been together several months. They are goofy and silly and playful and loving, and it's so great to see her so happy and obviously committed to each other, and she feels taken care of in her feminine. If this is something that you struggle with and you want to clean it up and learn how to do this healing and be in your empowered feminine, then follow me over on Instagram, because I do daily stories on things like this all the time. And fill out an application if you want more formal support.